everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you are all doing well. I'm sorry I've been away for a little bit. If you watched kind of the end of my Magical Jungle colour along, you would know that my cat has not been very well, and unfortunately we did have to say goodbye to her just after Easter. So my mind hasn't been on colouring. It's been very much a family kind of time, so haven't really felt like colouring or doing anything like that. But I am here with my completed pages, and I did do pretty well for April considering the stress, but colouring really does help with that. So yeah, so we're just gonna get on. I'm just gonna get my stats up for April, and I did 2 buddy colours, 12 prompts or challenges, 16 pages, 15 books, 1 untouched books. I had an increase of 24 followers on Instagram and an increase of 44 on my channel, which is amazing. So hello to everyone that's new. Hope you're enjoying everything. Do comment. I always try and reply. So yeah, we're going to get going. So I need my book out to tell me what I used. Sometimes I forget. I need to put it somewhere I can actually see it. So the first book we have is Lulu Mayo's A Million Owls, and this was a buddy colour with Knick Knack Colours on Instagram, who is also in my Matchick Mouse Big Adventure group colour. And we did the last page in this book, which was this one. I really much toyed with the idea of doing fantasy or kind of a tawny owl or a wise white owl, and I just went with fantasy. I did the leaves first, and I knew I wanted pink leaves, pinky reddy leaves, and then it all stemmed from there really. I based most of it with Crayola Super Tips, and then I went over with Black Widows. There's some Pentel Dual Hybrid on like the little clouds and on the wings and centres of flowers. Then there's some Posca pen. I went around the owl in like a light purple just to have the outline there. I don't think this background was black either. I think it was white. So yeah, I blacked the background in, and I think I did that with an Eco Line brush pen, which is a water-based marker, I think. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I absolutely love it, which is yeah, it's good, I think. I love my little pink and purple combination, always have, always will. And I was really happy with that one, and I will just share Knick Knack Colours is here. Love hers. It's always fun to colour with her every month. We seem to be doing one every month, which is really nice. So thank you very much for that. That got me another one done in this book. I don't have many done in this book. Totted them up this morning. I've done 3 in this book, so yeah, it's nice to get back in there. Then I don't colour in this book very often. Fantasy Season it is called. It's a Japanese book. I'm just going to zoom you out a fraction. Japanese book. One of my challenges this year is to try and touch all of the books I've got in my collection. So this was one to get out, and this is kind of seasonal, and it's kind of got the month on the edges of the book. Which one did I did a bunny rabbit. I did this one. So I based a lot of it with Crayola Super Tips. Then I used Black Widow pencils over the top. There's some Pentel Dual Hybrid on like the little eggs. Yeah, kind of the patterns of the eggs mainly. Then I use, it says it's TBC Silky Crayons, but it doesn't feel like it. TBC Silky Crayons in the background. And I like using those. That was quite a fun page. I liked my little pink rabbit. And it was just really cute, and it was perfect for Easter. It said, I think this is part of the April. Yeah, this is part of the April month. So that was really cute. Really enjoyed that one. So that was Fantasy Season, Japanese colouring book. Then I can't have a month without Matchick Mouse. And I did one in Matchick Mouse last month, and I thought I'd get another springtime one out this month. And I did the lamb page this month. Oh, this was so cute. I'm just going to zoom you back in. This was so cute. What did I use? Arteza Everblend alcohol markers Artist Expert pencils, lots of Posca pen to go around the outsides of the flowers and to go around the outside of the sheep or the lamb to make it nice and fluffy. And that's about it really. It was just a really fun page. I'd seen this page done before and I was a little bit nervous about it because it turned out so cute, but mine turned out so cute too, so I was really pleased. So that was Matchick Mouse, a springtime colouring book. Then we have Tales from the Forest Kingdom. This is a zoomy out one, that's for sure. Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carzon. And I did quite an unusual colour combo in this page. I've just got to find it first though. It's quite near the back, there we go. This page. What did I do with this page? So I put this green background in with Crayola Super Tips. I don't think I based the deer with Crayola Super Tips. I think it was just this green background with Crayola Super Tips. Then I used Brute Foon and Macaron pencils. I think that was probably on these mushrooms and possibly on the deer. Some Black Widow pencils, I think probably to give the deer a little bit more depth. Then the gold is KJ designed by Karen, and that's on the antlers and this kind of, I think it's meant to be a mirror, but I don't really know, filigree kind of stuff. And there's some Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze on the mushrooms. And then I used a Distress Oxide in the background. I think it's Tattered Velvet or something with a little bit of Kitsch Flamingo. And then I've got some stamps, and I thought it would be quite nice to bring out some of the green and some of the brown. And so I put that in the background as well. And I really like the way that turned out. It's such an unusual colour combination, but I think it actually came together really nicely. And I've used some quite unusual ones in this book. That one, and then at the front, this one. It's like a funny watercolour. But I'm not going to show you because I am going to do a Hannah Carzon colouring book collection completed pages flip through, because I'm in the middle of doing that at the moment. So yeah, so that was that one, and I really enjoyed doing that one. It was quite a creative process. Then Enchanted Faces. I am on track. I'm so excited, but I cannot for the life of me. I did an otter page and a mermaid page apparently. Otter page and a mermaid page, so bear with me while I try to find out what it was that I actually did. I remember the otter page. Got a feeling it was an orange hair one. I believe it was that one. Yeah, that one. So that was Arteza Everblend, Arteza Expert pencils. There's some Pentel Dual Hybrid on like the dots of her gloves and the bubbles in the background. Chromatech glitter gel pen for the border. I just like the contrast of the orange and the green. It's kind of an aqua-y type green, and then a little blue and purple. I just think it just all complements each other really nicely. So that was really fun. And then the otter page was this one, and I went for a completely different hair colour than I normally go for. But that was a really fun page as well. Arteza Everblend, Arteza Expert pencils, some Pentel Dual Hybrid on like the jewels on her hairband, some Posca, that's just to do these watermarks, polychromos for the skin, it's what I normally use. Just realised her pupils are really weird. That looks odd. And then a Chromatech glitter gel pen around the outside. So I'm doing really well. I'm on track to complete this book by the end of the year. So that's really exciting. So I need to keep that one out for next month. Then part of my aim to touch all my books this year, I did one in Secret Garden, and I haven't done one in here for absolutely ages. I went for a really intricate one as well, so that was fun. I did this one. So I used lots of things in this. Polychromos, that's like the shed, and the leaves that were big enough to get in with pencil. Then I used Staedtler fine liners for smaller leaves, probably these types of things, where they're just really, really small. And some pentel jewel hybrid for like the insides of the flowers and a little bits of these stony bits. And there's also some jelly roll glaze on the shed as well. It's quite a muted colour palette for me, I think. But I find these pages quite challenging, so I'm glad to have got it done. And it's like this top of this is like muted, and then underneath is where all the colour is. It's really weird. It's just the way it turned out. So yeah, another one done in Secret Garden, so that was good, because it's not one of my favourites, that one. Then we have Balls of Fluff. Oh, I loved doing this page. This was just, I was experimenting, and I think I'd seen a background that was just really inspiring. And I just thought, I've got to try that. And it was this page. This was just so much fun. So I used polychromos for the leaves and the flowers. Arabic Dura, I think, was for the sky. So the orangey yellowy sky. And I probably used that for the sun as well. Then I used Posca to go block out the white lines on the lamb. I thought it was a lamb. People have been calling it a goat. It may well be a goat. I don't know. Then I used some Winsor & Newton iridescent medium on the sun, because I saw it as a sun on a sunset, and I've kind of tried to reflect that in the ground. This is Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze. I used a bit of Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze on the hoofs. Is it hoofs for a sheep? I don't know. And then I wanted bluey birds. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. It was so much fun. Loved the colours used. Great page. And the next page is a woman carrying flowers with some dogs, I think. It's probably in the spring section. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with that now. Might do a May colouring plans video, but I'm going to keep that one out for next month as well. Then I also wanted to do something in teddy bear therapy. I think I was needing a hug on a teddy bear, so that's probably why. And I did this one. And this one also turned out really, really cute. I tried out my Arctics, I've got them here actually, my Arctics acrylic marker set, and that's what the pink is in the background. I used, what else did I use? Neo Colour 2, apparently. I think it might be the grass, it might well be the sky as well. Brute Fruit Squares on the leaves of the little red berries. Pentel Jewel Hybrid, which is on a lot of the like bugs and the little sparkly spots around the outside. Posca, what did I use? Oh, that was to go around the clouds, I think. Yeah, and I think Neo Colour 2 was on this green grass and on the blue sky, but everything else was like the Arctics and then the Brute Fruit Squares. But I really like the way that turned out. It was really, really lovely. Had really good fun, and the Arctic didn't bleed. I think that is from this. So I've got a bit of shadow, and probably need to put a little bit of thing in there. But these are really fun pictures, and I think I based that with Crayola. I think I based the bear with Crayola Super Tips, and then did the shading over top, and I think that worked quite nicely. But I just love the contrast of this big brown bear in relation to the more softer colours. So yeah, good fun page. Teddy bear therapy. Then we have a Rita Berman book. I always love getting back into a Rita Berman book. This is my walk through spring, I think it's called. So I completed a double page in here. Sorry, tired. I had a really busy week. Completed a double page in this book. So I'd already done this one, and I did this one. And what did I use? Turn the page, I think. I'm not even sure. There it is. Brute Funa macarons, which I don't think I've used in a Rita Berman before. I think I've probably used that on there. Arteza Expert pencils. Pentel Jewel Hybrid. Now that'll be on the butterflies and the butterfly little square. Posca, and that's little dots in these flowers, and TBC Silky Crayons in the background, and that was to match this side. And as a double page, I think they work really, really nicely. I love the colour of the eggs I got in this basket. I found that quite realistic, and I was experimenting with colour combos as well, purples, greens and teals and things like that. I had real fun on this page. I got a bit of my TBC on the flowers, unfortunately. Didn't do a great job with that, and I love this kind of colour combo I got here. So that was a really fun page too, and I'm glad I've kind of got those two finished off together. So that was Rita Berman's My Walk Through Spring. Then, oh, this was, okay, so this is Romantic Country by Erie, tale number 2. And this was a patch up job, and I got in a real mess. So I'd done this page, and I had done this page, and I had a lot of bleed through from this page. So I had to do a bit of a patch up. And I based most of this in Inktense, and then went over with Brute Funa squares, which I haven't used Brute Funa squares in this book before, so that was a nice experiment. And then I originally thought, oh, I'll go over do this with maybe Distress ink, or it was chalk pastel, and it just wasn't working. So I was like, right, acrylic paint to the rescue. So I used a pouring acrylic paint, and it took 2 coats to get the intensity I want. And it's so difficult with acrylic paint to get it to go around all the difficult fiddly bits. I think I just don't thin it out enough, and that's the problem. Then I put some paint spatters on. I did Sakura jelly rolls for like the blackbirds, but they kind of look like bats, or they just look like these random blobs on the page. So I wasn't overly happy with the background, and then because the acrylic paint had gone over this, I put the writing back in. But I am happy with like the cart and the cake and the girl and the animals, and I just wish maybe perhaps I shouldn't have done a background. I've got a little bit of shiny paint for like the flower colours. So yeah, there's bits of it I like, there's bits of it I don't like. It's, you know, it's a double page spread, so it's good, and it's 4 pages close to one another. But I did completely wreck this page, so it's good job I've got a picture of this. But I guess, you know, colouring books are there to be played with, they're there to be used. You were gonna get, you know, stuff happening like this. And I got in a bit of a mess with it with the acrylic paint. I got it absolutely everywhere, despite putting papers underneath, etc, etc. I'm messy colorist, it's really that simple. I had fun with this page. The Inktense works brilliantly, along with, you know, Brute Funa squares, Black Widow pencils. I love the colour combos I got on her dress. So there's elements of this page I like, and some I just don't. But it's 2 completed pages in an Erie book, which I'm happy with. So Romantic Country, the second tale. Then we have Johanna Basford, Magical Jungle. This was a full colour along on the channel. It's something like 5 parts. And it is this page. I'm just going to zoom you out a fraction. And I had a blast with this page. I used Polychromos pencils. I think that's for mainly the leaves. I did use some Staedtler fine liners for the smaller leaves here. But everything else, I don't think I think the water was actually Neocolour 2. You'll know if you watch the colouring. I think this was Neocolour 2 with some shading with polys over the top. Posca pen to black out some white lines here. There's some Pentel Dual Hybrid, but I couldn't tell you where that is. I think that might be a lie. Oh no, that's probably in these tiny little nails you can't quite see. Posca pen. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, Posca pen, Pentel, polys, chalk pastel. It's the green and pink in the background. I didn't know what I was going to do with the background, and then it suddenly hit me at the end, and I have fixed it. There's Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze with all the black, and I love this page. And I have 2 completed next one another, which is really, really lovely. But I love this page. It turns out kind of pretty much how I imagined. Polly's worked amazingly. And I just had fun with colours and different combinations. So yeah, that was Magical Jungle by Johanna Basford. Then I've decided to do another page, Enchanted Creatures by Lolita Aya, and this was part of my, there's a 25-point colour challenge, and it was to colour a title page, so I did that. Where is it? Where's the title page? There it is, I did that one. Let me just find it. I used Brute Funa squares. Pentel Jewel Hybrid, that's on lots of different flowers and insides of flowers, and there's lots of like little circles that are dotted around. Posca pen, that was to block out, I think that was mainly on the mushrooms in the corner, and on these big red flowers. But I had a lot of fun using my Brute Funa squares, getting all the greens out I possibly could. And I didn't feel as though it needed anything inside, so I left it. And it was a really good fun page, and the paper really is amazing in this book. I love my like little sweet peas in the corner. So that was really good fun. And that was Enchanted Creatures by Lolita Aya. Then we have Fairy and Fantasy 3 by Christine Caron. I loved doing this page too. It's this one. I don't know if you can quite get you in. I love doing this page. I used Brute Funa squares on this picture. I had this vision of like a green, like a really pale green, so I think I went in with the wrong green on her hair, but I think it still works. So Brute Funa squares, polychromos for the skin, which is what I normally use on skin, so I've got a combo that I like with that. Posca pen, which I used to go around the daffodils. Secura Jelly Roll Stardust. Now that was on her, that's in the wings. Distress Oxide in the background with some Cosmic Shimmer texture paste. I don't know if you can get that, it's sparkly. Oh, it says it's TBC Silky. Oh, I probably did the pink, the pale pink is Distress Oxide, and then I think I put TBC Silky Crayon in the corner, just to give it a little bit more depth. I don't know why, but that just felt like I needed it. And I love her eyes. Absolutely love her eyes. I think I did a great job with her eyes. I still think I could go a bit further with skin in terms of saturation of colour, because I still think the grayscale shows through a bit too much, but I'm getting there. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and it seems Brute Funa squares work well on cheap Amazon paper. It looks as though I based her skin with Winsor & Newton as well beforehand, so that would have helped. I think it was because it's a larger surface area. But yeah, I had really good fun with that. Really good fun, really enjoyed it. And that's another one done in this book. So that was Christine Caron, Fairy and Fantasy 3. Then we have the group buddy colour in Matchick Mouse, a big adventure colouring book. And we have a new person joining us, Zoe's Cozy Colouring, I think it is. We did this fabulous page. I think I knew straight away I wanted a dark brown donkey, but that did make the ground and the mountains quite tricky, because it meant if I did that at the same colour, they wouldn't contrast. So I had to think about that quite carefully. Just trying to find. Arteza Everblend, alcohol markers, Arteza Expert pencils. Use some Winsor & Newtons for some of these, because I've got like an earth tones selection from the Winsor & Newton, so that's, I think that's that satchel, and this, whatever this is down here, and I think some of these greens are that as well. And then some Posca pen, some Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze, which is on like a little neckerchief, and I love this yellow and orange background. Just love it. That was a really good fun page. I'm always really daunted when you have one of these big animals and not Matchick Mouse as the main subject. That it terrifies me. But I really enjoyed the donkey. The donkey was really cute. So I'm going to put the other, I think it's 4 ladies we've got now, up on the screen so you can see all of theirs. And we are doing next month this one. Again, I'm terrified. I don't even know what this is. So I might have to look it up. It looks like it could be a crane. And this all looks like feathers. Is it all feathers? I've got no idea. I think he's hunting a shell. So this is a baby one, obviously. So God knows what I'm going to do with that. But that's one we're doing next month. Thank you very much, ladies. Very enjoyable as always. And then very, very naughtily, I have snuck this one in. I didn't actually finish this until a couple of days ago. But I am going to sneak it into April's completed page. And this is a new book to me. Mel Pamini's Dream Voyage. Got it for Mother's Day. And it is this page. And this has got everything and the kitchen sink on it. Albic Dura pencils as a base. There's polychromos as well, because the colours are exactly the same. Neo Colour 2 is for the orange sky. Posca going over a lot of the cloud lines. And lots of like lines in the water. And there's Pentel Dual Hybrid on like, I use that all on the dragonflies at the bottom. And in the flowers. And a little bit on the little flying, whatever these bugs are. Flying caterpillars is what I thought they were. And I love the way this turned out. My daughter thinks this was a bit too orange. I am inclined to agree with her. I wanted it more of an orangey yellow, but that's just what happened. But I like the contrast of the turquoise and the orange together. And then these pinks are in there as well. So that was my first page. Paper's amazing. Look at that. No, little bit there, but hardly anything. And it's single-sided, so you could use alcohol markers. So yeah, my first page of Dream Voyage by Mel Pamini. And that is my completed pages for April. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed colouring them. I probably will put a poll up about doing another colour along with you all on the channel. So do vote, let me know what you fancy seeing. And I will see you next month. I will see you later on in this month. I need to do next in my A to Z series, which is H. I also need to do some more for my completed colouring book collection. Yeah, so I've got some plans. I will see you all again soon. Bye.